Hello, Abyssal Travelers. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. As you can tell, I've given my hair a little bit of a buzz right here. It is starting to get warm again. It's that time of year. And, as such, my scalp needs a little bit more airflow. Also, I really like the way, my hair, yeah, I like my hair this way, the way that it makes me look more feminine, than if I have, a lot of hair on both sides. I personally think it makes me look a lot more feminine, and it's a bit of a confidence booster for me, so. Knock out two birds with one stone. I get more, my scalp gets more breathability, and, I look better. Or I think that I look better anyway. My confidence goes up. So anyway, into today's video, I was just doing some like practice shuffles, because there's this a shuffle that I like to do that is kind of showy. It's very showy actually, very showy. And my cards are all kinds of twisted. Hold on, let me see if I can get all these cards, the right way around. And I will show you guys, the shuffle that I like to do. I don't really do reversal readings, which is why, I'm trying to get these cards back, the right way. So, if you'll bear with me for, a second while I make sure all of these cards are the way that they're supposed to be. You got you guys weekends or week or week? How has your week been? Mine's been fairly. It's been a lot of the same, aside from the paranoia over Trump's attempted lawmaking, Other than that, nothing's really changed. Not that that's unusual at all. Things usually go about exactly the same. I mean, regardless of whatever's going on in government, things in real life rarely ever make change much or make much of a change. All right, I think all the cards are the right way around now. So anyway, I was doing the shuffle that I do that's showy, that's like this. And this card fell out, and the way that it fell out kind of really it was strange to me because it instead of falling straight down, it jumped up. It jumped up from the deck, and it went over the deck and fell. And I figured, because of the way that it fell, it's probably important for the reading that I was already planning on doing. But anyway, the card that came out is Rebirth. Um, and it says giving yourself a second chance. Let's see if you, it's a really nice card. The this is the Star Dragon's Oracle deck that I'm using. These cards are really pretty, really beautiful. I recommend them if you're interested. You know, if the card resonates with you, I recommend it. It's a really beautiful deck. But yeah, Rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. There are a lot of people out there who show you the card again. There are a lot of people out there who when they mess up, they really, really, really put themselves down. They really, hammer in that, there is no second chance. You screwed up. That's the end of it. And Spirit is coming to say that you should do away with that kind of thinking. To give yourself a second chance. To try again. To if say if, for instance, I'll go into a little bit of my past with some friends of mine, well, former friends of mine. Unfortunately, they have kind of walked away from me, and to be honest with you, some of it is my fault, and a lot of it is, I believe, well, more than likely, it's manipulation from another person. But I'll explain why I think that is. I talked in a previous video about my RP roleplay on an app called Amino, the text roleplay, and in this app, I made some friends, some really good friends, or at least I thought they were really good friends. And over time, being that I had, a lot of emotional dysregulation, I tended to get very angry very quickly at certain situations. Although I don't think that's really the issue. It may have been, but I don't think so. It didn't seem that way. I think that mostly they understood that I was emotional, that I am emotional, that a lot of the things I say in the moment, in those moments when I am emotional, are just, me overreacting, and trying to protect myself emotionally and mentally, from being hurt or rejection, because I do have rejection sensitivity. But the thing about it is, this one person, who eventually took leadership over the group, the online group, because the owner of the faction system that was on this Amino app, shut down my my faction or whatever. I forget what it was called, but for some reason they decided to shut down my faction, and gave me the option to either completely disband the whole thing or give leadership to somebody else. And so I gave leadership to someone else, and I gave it to someone I thought I could trust. And immediately I regretted that choice because this person who took over leadership of that faction, um, excuse me, invited a leader of another faction who was basically online harassing me online because I had gotten another leadership position, basically moderator position in this this chat group or whatever. I don't know exactly what they're called on Amino anymore. But basically, I got a moderator position, and this guy was absolutely cheating his way into winning this roleplay fight. And I called him out, and I told him that he was disqualified from the fight because he was cheating. And he got pissed off, and he started harassing me, and he started sending members of his group to harass me. And so this person invites this dude into what was my faction, now renamed and is considered a different faction. Um, and so we don't really get along. We don't get along at all. And she starts making a big fuss about it because she's over here making googly eyes at this dude. She's got the hots for him. And nothing else fucking matters, right? Nothing else matters to her. In her mind, she likes this dude. I'm overreacting. She probably has no idea what was going on behind the scenes, and I don't think I ever did tell her because it's frankly it was just not really any of our business. But eventually, she did figure it out. When that chat group or that chat group or it stopped being moderated. It stopped being active completely, and we moved our faction over into our own little group. And then eventually it came out that this was the dude who was harassing me. And even though she knew that, and we were still not getting along, she tried to force me to get along with this dude who was completely harassing me and still acting like a complete asshole towards me, or I would get kicked. And yeah. So you can imagine about how well that went over. Eventually, I got really pissed off and I left. And then I came back and I wanted to try and get into back into a moderation position so that I could try to help the chat group to become active again, because the people who were supposed to be moderating this chat group was rarely, if ever, there. So I wanted to be in a position where I could do something. And I did get in a position, a lower position. in which I really didn't have much say in anything at all. I could not really do anything. I was just kind of there, and there was nothing I could do about the people who were breaking the rules other than, report it to the people who were never there. And of course, um, that kind of pissed me off as well. Because, I'm there to try to be a moderator. I'm there to try to be in a position where I can help. And the whole thing about me getting into this position was that, I was going to go through a trial run and for a little while until I would be bumped up to a leadership position. Um, and then as I'm in this role, the new faction leader, this girl, comes into our moderator chat room and says that she would prefer that things stay exactly the way they are, which was not part of the deal. So, of course, me having been basically running this entire thing on my own with nobody else hardly ever around, I got really, really, really pissed off. And I went off on her. And I left. I completely left that place for what? Um, well, let me back up a bit. Um, we had actually begun to move over to Discord because Amino was turning into adpocalypse hell, and how some place how social media is with ads. But yeah, and because the chat group was just completely inactive anyway. There wasn't any really roleplay going on. There wasn't nothing that it was built for was going on in the group. So we were kind of jumping ship already. But anyway, as I left this group, I left for about a year or so. And then, after I've had some time to really mull it over, to really think it over, to have my time to think about it, I decided to try to go back into the Discord so that I could talk to the person who runs it. The new faction leader. And what happened was that I got kicked. I got kicked out. No rhyme or reason. I never did get an explanation. She never did even tell me the real reason why I was kicked. Other than that she was trying to protect me, which was a little bullshit because she didn't care anything about me when she was making googly eyes at the dude who was harassing me online, so I know for a fact she didn't care. She was just using that as an excuse, I think. I think because she had a little bit of she had some confidence issues, I think. And with me, coming back into the fold, um, she was afraid that I would try to start to try to go after her leadership position, which was not my intention at all. I just wanted to talk it out, and I wanted to, talk to some old friends because I was kind of feeling lonely, but I got kicked out, and so eventually I got into contact with another friend. Her username was Terra Techno, and I talked to her for a little bit, and I kind of showed my ass and said some things in chat with to her that I probably shouldn't have said about this other person, this faction leader that I can't remember the name of. I can't remember her username anymore. And this caused her to block me. But the whole point of the story is that instead of just, walking away and, saying that's that, I did actually try to give myself a second chance and to give other people a second chance, regardless of, whatever fighting was going on in the past. It sucks that it went the way that it did, and I am still, sorry about the way that I handled it, especially talking to the way that I, said the things in chat to Tara, was not appropriate, I don't think. But she wouldn't have understood because she doesn't know the full story. So, and I think a lot of it has to do with, that faction leader being very manipulative and having the upper hand and kicking me out, and me not being able to have my say in the story, in whatever she was trying to tell them, in whatever she was telling them, behind closed doors, as I was trying to get information about why I was being kicked out of the group, why I was being ghosted, and why she wouldn't talk to me, and she just didn't give me any answer at all. I never got an answer, and to this day, I still don't have an answer fully. So, but yeah, that's to go through all of that and to still give myself another chance to to approach things better, to approach situations in a way that's not completely from the emotional aspect, not and not blow up all the time. But I didn't put myself down about it, I didn't beat myself up. I did have, a moment where I slipped into a bit of a depression because, they were abandoning me, in a time when I was, very vulnerable, very lonely, very, very down on my luck, just not feeling the greatest, and having this whole nostalgia thing pop back up. And so, but I still gave, as I've said, I still gave myself a second chance. I gave myself, the opportunity to learn from that experience and to help myself grow into a better person who would, not be so reactive. And and I think that's, what Spirit is trying to tell us with this rebirth card. regardless of, whatever fights or, whatever is going on in your life, if you feel like you can't give yourself a second chance, I would ask you to go and question that, I would ask to go and question those thoughts, to go and question that feeling, and ask yourself why you feel like you can't give yourself a second chance, why you feel like you can't, go and ask those people, for forgiveness, or, why you feel like you can't, mend that friendship that, you think fell apart, whenever it fell apart. And really, really just ask yourself and give yourself an opportunity, for that second chance, for that, for that time to reflect and to really, ask and, to ask yourself, why you think the way that you're thinking, just ask yourself why it is that those thoughts are occurring, and give yourself the chance to answer those questions slowly over time. You don't have to do it all at once. I wouldn't recommend it. It is a clusterfuck when you try to do that. It's a mess. It's chaotic. It's overly emotional, trying to tackle all of those emotions all at once. Just focus on one thing at a time. And ask yourself, why did you feel the way that you felt in that moment? What could you have done different? What could you have done better? What things in that moment had to happen that couldn't have happened any other way, and why you're blaming yourself for that situation that couldn't have happened any other way. Why are you blaming you when you know for a fact that it wouldn't have happened any other way? Ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself, what you can do to improve next time if you come into another situation like this. And that's really what I think the message is today. I think that's a very profound message, a very important message that I put out there, because I think a lot of people are definitely struggling with something similar, because I believe we all go through situations like that, where we see something as unforgivable, or we see something that we've done as unforgivable, and there's no way that we can, give ourselves a second chance, or forgive ourselves for doing what we've done, or saying what we said. And we need to think about why we believe that is the case, and then we need to overcome it so that we can become better people. But yeah, I think that I've kind of rambled on enough for this video. It's already nearly 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it here. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below. It helps push these videos out in the algorithm. It also helps to build this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I hope this video has earned your subscription. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.